Of all the places I've lived, I ate the best breakfast in Beijing, especially in the hutong neighborhoods in the city center. Hutong means alley. It refers to the narrow passageways between the square courtyard homes here. Working-class domestic life spilled out into these corridors. For centuries, many courtyards only housed one elite family, until government policies parceled out the homes among several households. In those dense communities, a scrappy breakfast culture thrived. Think hearty offal stews and filling porridges. But these neighborhoods have been transforming. Many hutong homes have been torn down, other alleys gentrified. And I can't help but wonder if the breakfasts that thrived here will stand the test of time.
80年上班在花市就喝。
现在还是每天来，每天早上来。
对，今天喝的豆汁儿，你喝过吗？你要没喝过，你得这个适应，有一个适应的过程。
Douzhi literally translates as bean juice, and it's made by fermenting the liquid left over when mung beans are processed to make starch. It made the most of a byproduct that might otherwise have gone to waste. It has a reputation for being an acquired taste, something mostly only elderly, longtime Beijingers drink regularly, and maybe tourists. I'd tried sips before, but if I was finally going to seek it out as the centerpiece of a Beijing breakfast, I knew I wanted to call my friend Tianran. He was born in Beijing, raised in the UK, and eventually moved back here.
All right, so we'll get the Beijing trifecta. The douzhi, jiaoqiao, and some pickled veggies. And then we'll get some more carbs, because like Beijing breakfast is all about carbs. Back in the days, especially with this sort of traditional food, you eat and then you go out and you do manual labor. If you were from the imperial court, you could eat whatever you want. You could have meat for breakfast, but laborers just need the energy.
This was just the right timing for a douzhi breakfast. It turned out both of us had raspy voices, a product of Beijing's notorious spring winds.
Well, I've heard this is good for our throats, so I think we both need that right now.
So I got the set meal, which is douzhi, jiaoqiao, and pickles on the house. No spoons. Not for the douzhi.
Hold it to your face.
You put it to your face, exactly. You're supposed to hold it like this, and then you just...
Ooh, that's funky.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
Oh.
Oh.
Ooh.
What do you think?
It's very funky. It has like a kind of a bitter taste when it first goes down, and then it has a little bit of a sour aftertaste.
But you need to smell your breath afterwards. You just do this. And you're like, oh, I ain't kissing anybody for a decade. I mean, it's Marmite situation, right? You either love it or you hate it. But it's actually a health drink because it's fermented, so it's good for your digestive system. Like from TCM principles, it's cooling, so it's good for us because we've got the sore throat.
There's something about it that reminds me of like when you pickle vegetables and like the juice that's left over.
Pickle juice porridge, something like that.
Right, yeah.
Because it's also got that mouthfeel as well. It's a little bit thick. My second aunt on my dad's side, she has douzhi every morning, and she's so healthy. She has more energy than all of us combined.
Douzhi was economical and functional, a common denominator of breakfasts that became popular in the hutong neighborhoods. You can say the same about miancha. It literally means flour tea, but it's not a tea at all. It's actually made from ground millet.
It's just on top that you've got the layer of sesame paste and the sesame seeds and salt, so that's the topping. So you want to stretch the topping as much as possible. So you dig in vertically, and then you take out. See, it's very finely ground. What do you think?
I like it. That's nice.
Yeah.
It has like porridge vibes. It is a porridge.
Basically, all of this is porridge. But it's all about stretching food, right? Trying to make the most of every single part of every grain or every part of every meat, you know, like a lot of Beijing dishes, they're offal. You're just stretching that animal.
So how did resourceful dishes like these spread in the hutong neighborhoods and become so interwoven with life here? I knew Sophia could tell me. She works at a cultural exchange center called, wait for it, the Hutong. She's spent years walking these alleys and studying their food traditions.
我要一个小长卤煮，然后要一个炒肝。 卤呢，它是一种做法，它用很多的一些酱料，比如说一些香料，然后加酱油，然后把这些食材一起炖很有味道，然后你炖到早上起来就刚刚好，就不需要现做，很省时间。
这个你再怎么煮它也不会烂，
而且很入味儿。
很鲜，非常鲜，就是吃得出来它是煮了很久，很有味道。
再久一点之前的话，本身资源就没有那么多，没有那么丰富，所以它可能就会利用这些下水啊，比如说肠子呀、肺呀、肝啊，来做成一个好吃的一个吃的，也能够尝到这些肉质的产品，又是低廉的价格。
It's stretching simple, humble ingredients into something that's like a delicacy.
对，就 it's easy for the ordinary people to access，又便宜又好吃又经济。
I saw lots of customers adding pungent toppings as a finishing touch, things like fermented bean curd juice and garlic juice.
都是比较重的味道，除了加咸味以外，还要把就是让它提鲜，然后要把更多的其他的这些卤煮的那个比较重的那个肉味再给它盖一下。
Hearty stews suited cold northern winters, but they were also practical for running a business. Vendors living in a hutong could keep a pot bubbling all morning and sell it to neighbors who lived just an arm's reach away. That was an advantage of hutong life. Customers were always close at hand.
他就可以卖小吃啊，这些早点呀，作为他的一个生活来源，比如推一个小车呀，或者是有一个小的门店，然后来卖这些。
这里是不是我念炒肝倒不太对啊？应该是炒肝儿。
对，北京话带儿，所以炒肝儿就是干儿肝儿。
肝儿，
对，
豆汁儿，炒肝儿。
对，它是有肝儿和有大肠，它的这个汁儿一定要亮，这个亮是淀粉，要勾芡。它也是个 carb， 它会给你很多的一些糖分，让你有劲儿。主食是更便宜，因为在过去有很多人做劳力，没有那么多肉的一些资源，所以我们需要主食来给我们提供一些能量。
在北京想找卤煮、炒肝这些，是不是基本上是要来胡同这个区域？
啊，对，北京城就是原来在2环之内的胡同的地方，很多的店都是在这边开始的。
There are the hearty and warming Beijing breakfasts, and then there's a whole category of quick starchy bites ideal for taking away.
So this is a sticky rice dough and deep fried and stuffed with red bean paste.
Fried dough, breakfast of champions.
Yes,
Cheers.
cheers. It's very crunchy.
Ooh. Very good. That crunch on the outside is like super crisp.
Shops in the hutong neighborhoods were often either tiny or roving, which meant food had to travel. Carbs like these would have been not only easy to make in large batches, but also convenient to eat on the go.
Another starchy, or carb sugar bomb. It's called alleyways. It's literally sticky rice steamed and then pound a little bit and used as a dough to wrap up sugar.
I feel like I look like I kissed Frosty, the snowman.
As Sophia and I snacked around these corridors, we imagined what these neighborhoods might have felt like in their heyday, when these alleys were more than just passageways, but shared space for cooking, eating, and catching up with neighbors.
突然从一家人只有一家子拥有的一个四合院，变成了一个好几家人共同拥有的一个大杂院。然后呢，肯定会很热闹，大家可能会共用一个做饭的地方，可能会有聊天呀、喝茶呀，小孩也会一起玩什么的。
But that version of communal life has a much smaller footprint now. Throughout the 90s and 2000s, and especially in the build-up to the Beijing Olympics in 2008, many hutong neighborhoods were torn down. Others were fixed up, roofs replaced, walls repainted.
因为办奥运会的时候，就是需要把这些，就是让城市看起来更整洁一些，然后从安全系数上讲的话，也是更安全。所以胡同很多这些建筑差不多都400-500年了，然后很多都是木质结构，然后电线什么的，它也不像现在的这些建筑这么安全。一个是城市规划、卫生啊，另外一个是就是一个安全。
City planning didn't just demolish old buildings, it changed the very conditions that helped give rise to the breakfast culture here. Affordable rent, compact living, tight-knit working-class communities. Countless food vendors didn't make it through the renovations. Push carts disappeared, and many food shops closed or relocated.
在这开店有10多年了，卖些干果、中外干果啥的，瓜子还有花生。这几年变化很大。
哪方面的变化？
城市建设很好的，像原先老胡同还是比原先好多了，整齐了。
Windows like these feel like a relic of the past now. This one stays open for customers whose routines haven't changed as much as the neighborhoods around them.
街坊邻居吧，都在这儿，也老人也啥的，都没法在网上购物，所以方便老人吧，在这儿。现在干店是越来越少了，现在比以前少多了。
It's really windy and dry and cold in Beijing in spring, so this is the kind of food you want to eat. Roasted chestnuts, if I can open it.
As I talked to more people around these alleyways, I kept thinking about how Tian had described the feeling of seeing these neighborhoods again when he first moved back here.
There was a sense of nostalgia. I did spend some time in the hutongs in my dad's courtyard. I don't have much of a memory of it. Mostly stories about how, the hardships we endured. But, I think as I'm getting older, I'm becoming more partial to this sort of food. Like that's kind of okay. People who grew up in the 70s, 80s, 90s, now getting to our age or my age, we're kind of like we reminisce about this sort of thing.
The transformation of these old courtyards and corridors divided people. Some felt heritage was being lost, from architecture to cuisine. Others argued change was necessary to improve safety, plumbing, and structural longevity.
Where locals might see dilapidation or this wall needs a fix-up. I think to a foreign tourist, it might be part of the charm.
When you are going to renovate anything to make it last longer and preserve it for future generations, it's going to change.
Yeah, it's gentrification. If you don't change, it's just going to either become, derelict or it's going to become a museum.
It's understandable why many feel protective of these neighborhoods. So much of Beijing has transformed beyond recognition in just a few decades. The hutong neighborhoods that remain feel like a nostalgic holdout from a past era.
The feeling is very different there. The life there is very slow. They ride lazily by with one leek in their basket, They've got the little dogs, the scruffy-looking dogs with the overbite, and it's just quite rustic in the hutongs.
That might explain why these alleys have become a tourist draw. People visit to look for the douzhi and luzhu they've heard are popular in Beijing. At the same time, sleek Western restaurants, craft breweries, and souvenir shops have opened up next to old food stores and courtyard homes where people still live.
I think people like that contrast. You have this old, very down-to-earth hutong environment, then you have a flush new cafe.
Tourism and nostalgia can help preserve food traditions to an extent. But many who truly grew up with these breakfasts, who didn't discover them on social media but learned them through living and working in these neighborhoods, are getting older.
我们通常夜班是3点钟上班，基本上，然后保证基本在5点半的时候就基本上前期工作就做好了。甚至有的时候可能遛早的，尤其像冬天可能遛弯的大爷，5点多钟5点半左右开始在大厅等着了，等一会儿来个豆汁，热乎乎的，已经遛弯回来了，已经是。
那胡同近几年就是改变也很大。那您觉得这些老北京的早点有没有受到任何影响？
还是有一定影响的。有一种感觉就是东西的味道没变，但是做的环境感觉还是有很大差异。你过去可能就是一些叔叔大爷这种阿姨他们可能退休的越来越多，心里面感觉过去的那种味道还是有一点点的变化，有一点越来越淡的感觉还是。
Change is inevitable when old techniques and settings evolve. The question isn't exactly whether these dishes will live on, but what form they'll take.
This is also a restaurant that's super popular with Beijingers. They've got branches all across the city.
After our douzhi breakfast, I couldn't leave Beijing again without getting a newfangled iteration.
So which one's yours?
I got the douzhi ice cream.
Oh, okay. Continuing with the dojo.
That's the theme of the day.
Okay. Bottoms up.
Bottoms up. It's still got that funk. Not as much though.
Okay. I was just going to ask what kind of is that? Because that was like a with a question mark.
That's a little bit of a confused
Okay, but it's more palatable than the original.
I'd say so.
Would you say for a tourist or someone who's not from Beijing, getting that would be a nice way to ease them into the whole dojo-hood?
Probably. It's a little gentler on the nostrils and the taste buds, I think, but I kind of miss that funk though. That
Really?
Funk was a little nice, yeah.
Look at you, you're a convert.
I've often found that the most interesting time of day as a traveler is the morning, so much that I once wrote a column about global breakfasts. The philosophy of breakfast isn't to make an elaborate feast or impress anyone. It's about survival, making the most of what you have and getting on with the day. When they're half awake, people default to the same simple dishes, which becomes habit, which endures as tradition. Lunch and dinner options in Beijing now are vast and varied, but its core breakfast dishes, the ones people associate with the city, those seem to be, in one way or another, sticking around.
I just
drink
feel
up.
really bad talking to Megan because I'm like looking at you and I can feel my dojo breath just going in your direction.
Honestly, I think mine is canceling it out, so I think we're okay.